Well, hello there. Let me stop being silly. Okay, it is Monday, June 15th, 2020, and welcome to. I guess I gotta pick up the microphone. Hey, y'all. Okay, anyway, it is Monday, June 15th, 2020, and welcome to the latest installment of Something to Talk About. How about everything? Okay, anyway, that was Gerald Levert and his father, Eddie Levert, Gerald and Eddie Levert. Yes, that's something to talk about. We're giving you guys a lot of headlines, lots of things to get to this afternoon. So much happened over the weekend, and we have to come in and give you that information. Well, what it is that we give you our perspective. You know, my perspective, Brianna's perspective, and when Dr. Fight comes in, his perspective as well. So again, welcome to Something to Talk About. Woo! The best show on, right now. The best show ever, 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 ever. And it's just getting better and better and better. So, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you'll tell all your friends and families. Okay, you need to check out these 3 people that come on Mondays and Wednesdays. They are fantastic. They're awesome. They're amazing. Yes, we are. Thank you. It's all due to God. So, thank you very much. This is Something to Talk About. STTA. Okay, just abbreviated. STTA. Okay, so we have, of course, it's June, and because it's June, we celebrate Black. It's like celebrating Black Music Month, but we celebrate it all the time. But for those of you that do not know, June is Black Music Month, and and because we're coming into Juneteenth, I think we kind of just as soon as the 10th comes in, we pretty much always start to acknowledge Juneteenth.
I feel like they started acknowledging June 1st.
Okay, with Juneteenth. So those of you guys who don't know what that is, okay, it is when I know I'm correct. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. But it's when the to abolish slavery was signed. The document, the proclamation was signed to abolish slavery. We don't know exactly when that was. We just know it was sometime in June, sometime around after the 10th or later. That's what we know. Okay. So, and why are there not better records? I don't know why people didn't keep better records. But when it came to people of color, they never kept really good records.
Well, why is Juneteenth not a national holiday? It's beyond me.
Well, and this is a valid point. The good one, Brianna. Why is Juneteenth not a national holiday? Well, here's my thing. At the rate we're going, Juneteenth will soon be a national holiday because, in my opinion, like the Christopher Columbus Day, we can get rid of that. That can go.
Well, the statue was beheaded in Boston.
I like that. I mean, I don't condone violence, but oh well, hell. How many of our heads they chop off? I'm just saying. Heads chopped off, stepped on the necks,
Knees in the neck.
Right.
They beheaded the statue. Okay, what-de-do?
That wasn't my lead story, but okay, we can go ahead and lead it.
I'm not talking about where you see like a chunk of the neck. I'm talking about a clean whoosh. They just took their foot and went boom.
And wait, because I have my notes. Brianna just jumped in. She jumped ahead of me, but it's okay. That's why I had these. That's why I had these. So we were talking about them getting rid of the statues. Now I know they said I think in Alabama, North Carolina, and it's another state.
Virginia.
I don't think it's Virginia because Virginia took down the statue, but Alabama and North Carolina, they're blocking it. They're blocking the fact that the statues want to come down. So that's what they're doing.
Of course they would.
Of course they would. Of course they would in Alabama. Absolutely, yeah.
When you pass a church and you got a big, stumpy sign in the front of the church, can you just? I remember going past that church and that visit. I was just like, oh my, I gotta get out of here. I can't take it. I have to get out of here. To see just that monstrosity in front of a church where people are to pray, you're like, what?
And you know what people are saying? Some of them are saying because they're saying, because it's a part of America, it's a part of our history, a part of America's culture.
There ain't a part of America's
culture.
Now
let me say this: we all have history, right? Somewhere in our lives, we all have history in the past. Some history does not need to be reminded of or remembered.
Right.
That's a part of American history
that needs to go.
That we don't need statues, of all these Confederate and racist people, from back then. And the funny part about it is that let me say this. There was a lady on the Red Table Talk, Jada had on the Table Talk. And I don't really listen to Jada that often. But I listened to, it was a white lady. And one of the things she said that she was white, hair was white as snow, everything. She said, I'm a black woman. I just don't have a tan. I said, okay, go. Let me see where she going with this one. So she went on and she said, she said if you think of the first people ever in the world were people of color. Then she went on talking about the reason why she's so light is because something about getting closer to the equator, and then they start getting lighter closer to the equator.
I've heard that they would talk about that in like social studies and history class. Like that's why some people are darker because the closer you got to the equator, the lighter you are, and then the further you are away from the equator, the darker you are.
Yeah.
So I've heard that. So,
okay, well that was kind of new for me to hear because I had not heard that before.
Yeah, like in school they start bringing that more into like when you got to junior high and high school. You heard about that where like you go further in, you're lighter, further out, you're darker. It's a weird thing.
Okay, well,
or like it's like you're like 80 degrees away from this way, you're lighter, you're like 45 degrees.
Oh, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Well, anyway, I thought it was an interesting conversation she was having with this particular individual, and I said, "Oh, okay."
The fact that she said she's a black woman.
She said, "I'm a black woman." I said, "Ouch, ouch!" But she was the same color as this card I'm holding up, and her hair was as white as the card. I said, "Alrighty, dear." But the thing is that she's not afraid to embrace who she is. Excuse me, and I like that, and I like that.
Now we'll bring this up more about the Confederate
statues
and flag. Mm-hmm. So NASCAR is banning the Confederate flag because they know normally when they're waving the flag,
it's a Confederate flag, huh?
They have a Confederate flag and then they wave the checkered flag. So they're not doing the Confederate flag. They're banning that. So one race car driver, he got offended, so he's quitting NASCAR, and everybody's clowning him because they're like, "You're gonna quit what you want to do because of a Confederate flag." But yeah.
Well, but you know what?
I mean that symbol stands for offense.
It stands for just racism. It stands for slavery.
So why would you want to? Because it's part of America's culture. Do we really want to go back into America's culture?
But see, here's the thing. What the woman said, and I have said this to you, and I've said this to people like my friends, people I talk to. At some point in time, we have been so conditioned, almost to the point of being hypnotized or being, put under a spell that this is what white folks say is good and this is what we are to believe. And to a certain degree, I do believe that because I remember as a child, and I was telling a friend of mine, I believe as a kid, we call back in the day what they call old-fashioned day. And so for us, old-fashioned day was putting on these like the long dresses that you see, I always talk about this show back in the day, like Little House on the Prairie or whatever. That was something that we did. I'm serious. Back in the day, when I was in elementary school, it was called Old Fashioned Day. So everybody had to dress up in these old, like back in the day dresses and things like that.
You know what they
and
did?
Then we acknowledged, Christopher Columbus and right.
And so you know what they did? That they took and did with that? They turned Old Fashioned Day into 80s Day. When I was in school.
No, because the old-fashioned day I'm talking about, the old-fashioned day I'm talking about the long old-fashioned dresses.
Why would they do something called old-fashioned day? I just remember Spirit Week.
See, it was completely different. And that's what I said.
I remember Spirit Week where it was like Jersey Day, Hat Day.
Yeah, this was in elementary school, and this is before we got to that. See,
80s Day. But even in elementary
in high school, in junior high school, we had that. But for some reason in elementary school, we did not. And I remember it was around like I think around September, October that we did that because I remember they always took all the students. We all went out and walked down the street, for people to see. So that's what I said. So, and to a certain degree, we were conditioned to believe the narrative that the white folks wrote. The story.
I would have got suspended. I ain't wearing no long.
But you know what? But the thing is that we just thought it was cute. I remember.
That ain't cute.
I remember one particular day.
That's offensive. That's offensive to me.
That's because we were conditioned, I'm telling you. And I had never thought about that. We were conditioned to believe certain things. And I remember because I remember going home and telling, I said, Mom, and I remember the letter go home and said, Mom, it's going to be old-fashioned day on this day or whatever. And I remember her going to the store and purchasing my sister and I, these certain little dresses. They had like the little, handkerchief thing, and we had the little pockets. It was like denim, but it had like the little pockets on the front. And we had on our cute little shoes, and that was our old-fashioned day ensemble.
Do you see my face right now?
I'm just telling you, we were conditioned for to believe certain things. I kid you not. And when I think about it, I'm like, damn, I had this epiphany over the weekend. Okay, I had this epiphany over the weekend, and I was like, we were like hypnotized, brainwashed to believe certain things.
Okay,
I couldn't believe it.
I
said, damn.
Let me just say that. I'll be damned if I would went home and said I got put on this dress looking like a slave and no.
No. It wasn't like we had to look like slaves.
No,
it was just the old-fashioned thing.
I understand what you're saying, but when I go back into history and I look in the book and you describing this dress to me, yeah. I thought I'm gonna be looking like a slave. No. I had an issue with American Girl for years because the only black doll they had, Addie been around looking like a slave.
Okay, so let me tell you about, since you brought up American Girl, that's kind of what our dresses look like. Not the Addie, the old-fashioned dresses. We had to have the big ruffle around the bottom. Yeah, that's what ours was. So I'm saying all this to say is that it is amazing how we were conditioned to believe certain things.
Do you see my face?
I know you shocked and surprised, but when I had the epiphany over the weekend, I said, I'll be damned.
Do you see?
I said, I'll be damned.
That is a bunch of BS. I wouldn't dare think you gonna dress me up like Addie. And then y'all had the little cute bonnet on and all that.
We had the little scarf that went around the neck, but you could actually put it right here if you wanted to. So it was a cute little handkerchief scarf.
So wait, hold on. Let me find it. So basically, hold on.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Hold on. We got what, about 3 minutes?
But
I can find some 3
But
minutes.
I'm just telling you guys that now that all these things are coming out, you're just like, wow, it's amazing how we just fell for it. And so now, and so it's like now, okay, why are they not going along with this now? They did it for years. Well, here's the thing. Over the years, eventually, you're supposed to get smarter.
So
and
y'all
know
look
better.
like that.
Well, it wasn't.
See,
my dress was more full.
See, Addie looked like a slave. Y'all
Yeah.
can save you too.
Yeah, but
Look at that.
Yeah, the dress, it was kind of like that without the apron.
Do y'all see this? No.
But mine was like it was a solid blue, and it had like the little red neckerchief, whatever you want to call it, and you could have tied it around your hair if you wanted to.
No.
But then it had like the ruffle around the bottom, and I had the cute little shoes on. Yes, but think about this. My mother is of a different generation, of course. Then I'm of a different generation. So and let me update myself a little bit. This is like in like the.
Let me just say this. In my time in school, we got 2 minutes. Honestly, in my time in school, if they ever told me, oh, we're going to do an old-fashioned day, I would have looked at y'all like, you can give me detention because I'm not wearing no old-fashioned.
So here's what that code really means. Like make America great. That's what the hell the old-fashioned day was, and we didn't know any better back in the day. Back in the day, we didn't know any better. Okay? Yeah. So you're not God. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna come back in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back in 5 minutes. So make sure you tune in and come back and watch us. Yeah. I'm following orders today, you guys.
That's the first.
I know it is the first one, but anyway, we're gonna come back.